Hello. Let me grab a dew. I got a whole heap of sodas down there now, dude. Freaking mini fridge is peak, not gonna lie. Alright, so let me tell you this. Let me start off by saying, oh, my sincerest apologies for not streaming all this time, because I honestly don't give a frick about that. You know, I do it for fun, and if it's not fun to me, I don't do it, right? Number two. This is my first time playing CarX Street since I now own a Moza R5, and frick, dude, the game is actually playable now. I will admit, the game is legitimately playable, which is, like, exceedingly surprising to me. I mean, I couldn't tell you why. Maybe it's just the higher quality. The direct drive, perhaps, has some play into that, but frick, dude. Like, you know, you've seen me. I've complained about it extensively in all of the 2 streams that I did on it. Brand new light. I'm not sure if I've streamed since I got that in here, so it's very bright in here. That is delicious. Holy crap. What was I saying? Yeah, dude, honestly, what I'm doing tonight, bro, is just, I'll probably mess around with some missions and whatnot at some point, but I just want to start off drifting, chill. You know, I've gotten a couple cars that I've built up. I'll probably do some, you know, customization on them. You see this little wobble here? It is very slight, but I just wonder if that's normal, or if there's like some tightening of screws that you can do to make it. I don't know, man. It's not that old, so it's not like, whatever, you know, okay. Oh, man, that's good. Oh, you know what I should do, but I'm not going to. Yeah, whatever. I was going to put up that little video on this monitor here. That's the stupidest thing. Because then I have to keep remembering to do that, and it's just like, really, dude? Why is it so quiet? Is that 30? That can't be 30. Something's amiss. Holy crap. There we go, see? See? Wouldn't that have been funny if I had cranked my volume up here, because I was already freaking high. Supra is what... Holy crap, look at that angle. See? This is already different. Let me just start by saying that. Now this, usually, that's a little peculiar that it goes to full lock all by itself. However, previously, on Logitech, I had, like, no feedback right here, and I absolutely hated it. It seems so much better now, so I really do believe it's just the wheel. The only L with my setup is I need to run the automatic clutch. Ooh, a freebie. And by doing that, I mean, you can literally see. Whoa. Alright, so we'll do third person for a little bit. Automatic clutch. There's that slight little delay there when I use the shifter, because basically what it thinks it's doing is it's using, it thinks that it's using an H, right? So all it's doing is clutching as though I was using an H. And I'm just like, dude, you know, that oftentimes that just screws me up, because it makes me lose power for half a second. I hate auto clutches. Auto clutches suck. They're too slow, you know? Then what I looked into next is like, okay, well, let me just put it on manual clutch. What does that do, right? Then I need to press my frickin' clutch button for each shift, right? Not the end of the world, but not a setting that I would want enabled, so no, right? Thirdly, that is 3 fingers there, it just looked weird. Thirdly, 3 fingers there, it just looked weird. 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 3 fingers there, it just looked weir thirdly, I was sitting here and I was like, okay, well, let me just slap a sequential gearbox in it. And from what I have found, and I could be incorrect and I could be stupid, but do they really not have sequentials in this game? Okay, like, and I mean, I suppose I could go look again, but I've already looked multiple times. You can tune the current transmission in the vehicle, or you can swap it. And they have, you know, 5-speed, 6-speed race, but they don't have a frickin' sequential. And I'm just like, are you kidding me here? That's exactly what I need, is a frickin' sequential. So that's like game-breaking awful, because I'm so reliant on a frickin' sequential gearbox, dude. Frick. I have been practicing that downshift. I'm not sure if you noticed that. We can blame that spin out on that, but when I'm coming up handbrake, downshift with the thumb, and I'm getting there. I am. I'm actually really embarrassing myself right now because I usually drift a little bit better than this, but whatever. I just need to warm up is all it is. And I'm just sucking. Sucking beyond whatever, you know? So just give me 10 years. You know me. Okay, see, dude, I feel like so many of these issues that I'm having is, you guessed it, due to the auto clap. That's the only L. And if I can figure out some sort of workaround via joy to key or something, because I tried it earlier and I might have done it wrong. Here's what I tried, is I set it to a keyboard input when I do this to activate the clutch, and it didn't work. Unfortunately, I was really hoping that would work. Like, I had high hopes for that one, because I'm like, okay, so it shifts and clutches at the same time. Wouldn't that work? But I must have done it wrong. You know, I might look into that because I feel like that should work. But alas. And then the frickin'... Oh, gosh, dude, you want to see some frickin' crap about this game, too? You know, even though it works better on this wheel, there is still so much hate in my heart against this game. Number 1. Still can't customize the HUD. Just gotta turn the frickin' crap on and off. Oh, you know what you could do is get the reshade. No, dude, I'm not getting the reshade keybind bullcrap. Frick off. Number 2. Take a look in these settings here. This is on my wheel. These are my wheel settings. So I can bind, you know, normal crap, throttle, brake, steering, etc., etc. Can't bind shift up and shift down because it unbinds it from my shifter, believe it or not. That's stupid. I might be able to do workarounds with that via joy to key. Haven't really screwed with none of that yet. I've just been playing the game, sort of. Let's see. Okay, so what are we missing, huh? Wow, look at this. We're missing a whole bunch of frickin' settings. If you didn't know, click on the keyboard. And you literally get more settings in here, dude. Headlights, on, off. Can't bind that to Y. You know, it doesn't even appear under the wheel settings, right? We got the gears, reset position, honk, traction control, and right under that, before look back, is headlights. Go to my frickin' wheel, honk, enable TC. It should be right frickin' here. What the frick is with that? Why are they so limiting, huh? It's like, okay, I could see, what settings did I change that I would have to save? Nothing? I didn't change nothing, did I? Anyways, in my mind, dude, it's like this is their first time ever making a car game. Bro, seriously. They literally have Car X Drift and countless others, right? A couple others, not countless, but it's just like, are you kidding me? We've been down this path before. You should know how to set up a game. You know, obviously people are going to play this crap with a wheel. Yet, not all the keybinds are going to pop up under the wheel. Are you kidding me, dude? That's just some bull crap. Okay, I'm doing... Is my traction control on? Wouldn't be able to tell because of the HUD. I don't think so, though. I mean, it was burning out a tad too easy to be on, right? Look at this ugly freaking HUD. And I even have a mod for a smaller... Okay, fine. That's a little bit smaller. What is with this massive gap here, dude? Okay, I'm playing on a freaking 65-inch TV. Give me a little bit of customization, please. I want to freaking take this crap, right? Okay, so... Can I show that with my hand? I guess, right? So watch the mouse, right? There's the mouse right on the tack. This big old piece of crap, I want to take that freaking thing, and I want to go, like, make it this big. Probably, literally, like, I'm looking at the entire screen here. Take that and put it, you know, down at the bottom right, of course. That's as much space as that crap should be taking up, dude, on my massive freaking monitor. And let's not even get started about this map. Huh? Let's not even get started about that. Oh yeah, that's a real gorgeous looking interior view, huh? Rick. I mean, this one doesn't need to be on per se, right? The pedals. I usually keep the HUD off, so I might as well have that one on for when I do have the HUD on, but frickin' biggest L ever. Traction control on, traction control off. Okay, I hate to start up just complaining so much. Let me just try and warm up a little bit, you know. That might be nice. But the fact that I need to use a freaking keyboard keybind to turn my headlights on during the day is just asinine. It's literally stupid, dude. It's like, okay, so it's able to be bound, yet not allowed on the wheel. That's just some freaking bullcrap, dude. I hate it. What is that? My clutch button was not... Probably the auto clutch screwing it up, you know? Because I'm trying to use my clutch, plus the auto clutch is probably doing bullcrap all the time. Frick. Dude, that just... Ugh. But I'm just blown away that they don't have sequentials in this game. The fact that they couldn't make it just like CarX Drift, where, you know, like, that works great, dude. No issues switching from H to sequential on that. Real clean line there, of course, right? I'm trying, okay? I'm trying to drift in first person a lot more. So, that just means that I'm gonna suck way more. I mean, as long as the game has look ahead, I'm probably gonna be in first person. For a majority of it. You know what game doesn't have look ahead? Motor Town. Piece of crap, are you kidding me, dude? Really? Okay, like, why? Dude, that game has a ton of frickin' customization, but no look ahead? Get the frick out of here, dude. I hate that. I hate that, and I hate watching people. I will not watch someone else play a video game, or a stream, etc., whatever, if they do not have look ahead on. Get the frick out of here. I hate that. It looks so stupid. Who's gonna be drifting with their head completely, you know, that's just not realistic. This is what he would be doing. As I'm drifting, my dude's gonna be looking over that way, looking over this way. Frick, dude. It's not even, it's just basic common driving skill. Not even skill, it's literally just driving. Whatever, right? Not that big a deal, not the end of the world. But it is to me, because I ain't gonna frickin' watch you. You know, that's just my biased opinion. Hate if you will, you know. We all have our quirks, and that's mine. If you ain't got look ahead on, get the frick out of here. Go play in third person or something, you know? Like, that's what I'll do in Motor Town. Is, you know, just third person it is. If I had been able to keep that on the track, that might have been better. I wish we could have, like, customizable dashes, because I would love to have a... Frick! Thought I was going straight there. I would love to have a sequential, you know, sequential gauges. The digital with the big number. 1, 2, 3. Because how the frick else am I supposed to know what gear I'm in? Oh, that's right. They don't give a frick about sequential users, right? That's like, oh, well, that's not very common. Well, I mean, it's pretty common for, especially drifting, etc. I mean, I know there's a large variation of both H and sequential, but still, I mean, in a game like this, they should have that kind of crap. That's just my take on it, dude. Like, get the frick out of here. I love downshifting with the thumb, though. As you've seen, it has been a skill that I've been practicing. And I feel like I've gotten pretty decent at it within a very short amount of time. I have not been doing that for more than, like, a couple weeks. A week, maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, you know what? I'll say 3 weeks maximum that I've been practicing that. Because honestly, before, I didn't even know that I could do that. Because before I was pulling the handbrake like this, right? And then I couldn't. But then one time I just happened to pull the handbrake like this. And I was like, oh wow, dude, my thumb is like perfectly aligned with that shifter. And so I tested and I was like, oh dude, I can freaking downshift. And it was very exciting for me, and I was like pretty hyped. I was like, let's go, dude. That's so baller, because like I didn't set it up to do that, right? It just works. That's what makes it fun. Is I didn't frickin' be like, okay, when we're mounting these, we need to make sure that I can reach the shifter and the handbrake, right? Probably not very big on the realism scale, but either way, dude. Oh shoot, you know what I haven't done? Dude, I almost knocked that over. I'm just gonna pull up my stream real quick, just because I haven't done it in so long. I want to make sure everything's still working. Dude, I love that title. Engaging title that attracts viewers. Oh, look at that. It sounds great. Come on, dude. Just be in neutral. I'm trying to listen. Oh, wow. That's pretty frickin' delayed. I'm not going to watch that. Usually it's like right up on point with me, so I'm like, okay. Nope. Alright. Get set back up. See that right there? That right there was the auto clutch, and that will forever frick me, and I will forever hate that. The way that he straightened out like that. And it's, you know, I feel like, well, again, I'm not going to mess with my cars until I completely confirm that I cannot set that via an external application, such as Joy to Key. But I feel like I could probably tune my final drives, because I never notice it between first and second. First and second is totally fine. But it's right there, it's third. You hear that little bog in third? Especially if you don't do the pedal work correct. But I mean, still, even then, I was flooring it right then, and he still bogged a little bit. And that causes major straightening out. It depends on your speed when you go into third, etc. But oh, that was embarrassing, dude. You know why? I don't know why, but it was. Mega backy. Kiss the wall. I Josh. Come on, don't get so worked up about it. That was too hard of a hit. See, look at that, dude. The wheel actually frickin' transitions by itself. Never did that on the Logitech, by the way. I mean, it was a piece of crap on the Logitech. I would be like this, and it would just yoink, and I would be like, what the frick, dude? It just made no sense, ever. And I was just like, dude, like, I would learn a little bit, and then I'd be like, wait, now it's doing something completely different. Frick. But overall, dude, the frickin' Logitech, sort of mid. We all knew that. We all knew that, but, I mean, it was a surprising amount of change between this and that. See, look at that look ahead. That is realistic as frick. That is realistic as frick. See right there, dude, that frickin' bog. I swear. It will be the death of me. What the frick was that, dude? Since when do I shift with my right hand? That was just one of those things where it just sort of happened. I didn't even try, per se, to do that. I just, see, frick off with third gear, dude. Always bogging out. Frickin' auto clutch, piece of crap. Okay. I'm getting frustrated, so I do worse because of that. So let me see here. Let me just think about this for a moment. Am I still in gear? No, good. Let me think about this for a moment. Do I use... Okay, hold on. Hold on. So, it should work. That's probably a real dude, huh? If he didn't call me. Sure was. I hate those freaking phone calls you get, dude. That sucks. So let me see. CarX Drift Racing Online does not support multi-bindings. Okay? So, what do I mean by that? I mean that I can't bind this clutch to my handbrake as well. So I can't have that clutch and also a clutch on this. And that game binds the same way, right? So this is its own device in the listing. This is its own device in the listing. And then I have the wheel and pedals. So, to do that, I have my clutch in the game set to this. And then I have my clutch on the keyboard set to space. And then I have this pole set to space in joy-to-key, and I have it set to handbrake in the game. Okay, so that allows me to have this clutch and that clutch. So why then, if I tested this earlier, I'm still confused as to why it didn't work for me. I went to my shifter, right, and I said, okay, shift up and shift down. Shift up, 14, shift down, 13. So I opened up joy-to-key, and I found my, my shifter, and I found button 13 and 14, and I said, okay, so I want that button to be my clutch. I want both of them to be the clutch. That shouldn't matter, because joy-to-key is very versatile in that. So I went here, and I found clutch, because you gotta, not this one, actually, keyboard. You gotta set it through the keyboard, right? So K. I made it K, because why the frick not, right? I could make it space. Is space used already? Doesn't look like it. See, because I might... Okay, let me try something different. Let me open joy-to-key. Alright, so here's what we're looking at here. Here's what I'm going to test. I'm going to try the headlights first. So they're currently set to Y. Right? On the keyboard. Y. We'll turn my headlights on and off. Great. That's perfect. That's a... What the frick is this? Nothing important. Okay. So, if I wanted that to be this Y, what would I need to do, right? I don't think that would even work. Well, it might actually. Okay, so we're going to open up joy-to-key, and we're going to go to the wheel. So here's my wheel. And we're going to look for whatever button comes up for Y, button 4. Okay? So button 4, when I click that, I want that to be Y. Hit OK. So now when I'm clicking this Y, right? It should be function. It's function, the button number 4. Button number 4's function is Y. Yay! Now look at that. Now I have headlights via in the game. Frick Car X, right? Frick. Not everything about them, because I love their games. But their versatility is trash. Okay? Great. What else would I want to bind? Horn works. Wow, they actually gave me that option. Unbelievable, right? Figured that would be a keyboard only type of, whatever, right? Okay, so I got that. So then why then would my shifter not work? We'll screw around with it. So I'm going to turn my HUD back on so I can see my inputs, because that's what I'm going to need to see. We're going to set this to manual, and then game, HUD, on, back, enter. Number 2, what I hate about this game? These two things, dude. What the frick? Why do I need to go between 2 different loading screens? One for tuning, one for style. Okay? Now that's not to say that CarX Drift is not in the same way. It is. You cannot tune and customize in the same location. However, right, there's always a however. You don't need to go through a freaking loading screen for it. That's the main part that annoys me, is the freaking loading screen. It's like, really? Really, dude? I can't, like, gosh, dude, just give me like a centralized hub in which I can go betwixt them both. But I guess that's asking too much. You know, give me one loading screen to go to the tuning and customization center. I shouldn't, gosh, dude, whatever. Anyways, where did Joystick go? I closed it. Okay. I'm thinking. So, right now, since I put it on manual clutch, it's not gonna work. I bet if I do this, that no longer works as well, right? So, with auto clutch, that would make my clutch not necessarily show as though it's being inputted down there, but it would activate it. So that's why with auto clutch, I don't stall when I handbrake in this game. So, let's do that one first. Should I? Or should I mess with the shifter? I should mess with the shifter, because that's the one that I tested before and couldn't get to work. So, the only way to currently shift is to press my clutch button and shift into gear. That's treating it as though it is an H shifter. And look at that. See, there's no more do I have that bog in 3rd gear. Or 4th gear, for that matter. It's all freaking auto clutch. I know it is, dude. Auto clutch is trash. Auto clutch is trash. I've noticed this. Specifically, I noticed it in Motortown. Okay? It's slow. That's why. It's delayed. It's safe, or whatever, you know? I don't know. I don't know the freaking wordage for it, but it's in, you know, in, what is that word? I don't know. Back to work, whatever. That stupidest point doesn't even matter. So, shifting. I want this button to activate my clutch. Could I not make it so that it's, you know, even if I held it, my clutch would be activated, right? Shouldn't I be able to set that? So firstly, let's go to controls. Let's do keyboard first. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do handbrake. Left mouse button. No. Is anything on space? I don't believe anything would be on space. So, handbrake, space. Okay? Great. That's perfect. Apply those settings, please. Thank you. Now, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to handbrake. As I pull the handbrake, so it looks like it's already set to space from CarX Drift. So why then See, because if it doesn't work, then I'm going to stall every time. What am I missing? This is pulling the handbrake in the game. Frick, dude, I gotta stop doing that. I gotta just click out of it. So if when it's pulled, it's clicking space, why is that not working? Should that not be working right there? See, this is what confuses me, because what am I doing wrong? You know, clearly I'm doing something incorrect. I am on the handbrake, correct? I am. Nothing should pop up over here, because this is the wheel, this is the shifter. It's only going to pop up under here. So none is when it's off, and space is when it's on. Why the frick isn't that working then, dude? That's exactly how it is in CarX Drift, and it works perfectly. Right? Because it's set on the wheel, or on the keyboard. Keyboard control is space. Oh, well, doy. I want it to be clutch. Gosh. See, sometimes I'm just stupid. So, doy. That's exactly how it is in CarX Drift. Right there. So there we go. Perfect. We fixed one issue. Now, let's get the shifting to become a legitimate sequential shifter. And I hate to do this on stream. Not really. I don't care. But I can't have fun fully if it's not set up as a sequential, dude. I have a sequential setup. It needs to be sequential, dude. Okay. Settings. Controls. So then, let's see. Keyboard. So I have my clutch set to space. On the keyboard, it is set to space. So then I'm going to go to the shifter. Find my buttons. There it is. 14 and 13. So I want this function to be space. Okay. Ooh. Oh, dude, I might have just got it there. Okay, so do the exact same thing. I don't know why this didn't work before. Do the exact same thing on button 13, on downshift. Okay. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, dude. That is what I'm talking about. Look at that. What is this weird feeling it's doing? It's like... Look at me being universally... Gosh, dude. So, now then, if all of my bindings are to work properly, I have headlights on the key, on the freaking wheel. And that actually makes me wonder if, like, the Logitech has headlights as like a bindable option. Okay? Okay, so it's not going to work. I can already tell. Why does it work some gears? Why is it, like, delayed sometimes, dude? Like, what the frick? Why? Why would it be like that? In any regard, even if I hold it, it still won't shift. And then, like, if I spam it, then it'll work. What the frick? What would cause that, then? I don't get it. Okay, that's stupid. I shouldn't have to do that. Would that be like a timing thing? Toggle between on or off. That's not what you would want. That... Absolutely not. You don't want it to be a toggle. Okay. So what else would I want then? Auto repeat. Would like a repeat thing work? What if I do 3 times per second? What does that do anyways? I mean, it repeats, but... And honestly, why am I doing downshift? Let's do all this crap on upshift, because that's the most noticeable. Okay, so let's say, would it be like a repeat issue? So let's say 10 times per second. That thing's gonna be freaking flying. Does not fix my issue regardless, unfortunately. I was hoping that maybe you could, like, get it, sort of, like, trick it to make it think that I pressed the clutch again, like, real quick. It's not throttle related, is it? No, it's definitely not throttle related. That is the biggest L I've ever seen, dude. Is anyone else like me? And even though I could just uncheck it, I need to remove the text from it before I do that. Just to put it back to default settings. Okay. So... I can set multiple bindings, right? Okay, hold on then. New thought. Instead of shifting through the shifter at all, right? Delete and delete. So now I'm not shifting through the shifter. But what if I tell the shifter to shift through the keyboard? Eh? That was a pretty good thought, huh? It probably will not work. But it's a thought indeed. So let's see, what could I make the upshift and downshift be? Looks like arrow keys would work. Oh, well, there's arrow keys. But I don't need those bound necessarily, so I'm going to steal them. Shift up. Do I make that down or up? Technically, if we want to be legitimate about it, and I sort of do, shifting up, I'm pulling down. So that's going to be down arrow. Shifting down, we'll be pushing up. So that's up arrow. Right? Great. Let's see how that works based on keyboard function alone. Okay, so... See how annoying this bullcrap is? However, once it's set, then all I need to do is just, you know, open this up and it'll work. So, shifting... Hold on. Shifting down, we're going to add up arrow and OK. Then, shifting up, we're going to add down arrow and OK. And I'm going to put that to the back. Oh, dude, I freaking got it. Look at that. No more bog. No more bog. Okay? Dude, you can't tell me that you don't notice that. Okay, that is how a sequential should shift. That is exactly how a sequential should shift. Now, let me show you. Okay, right? Listen to the gear shift between 1 through 3. Listen. Okay? Right? Simple. Now, I'm going to... This is just for the people that... I'm going to... Can I actually, like, save this? Because it would be nice. Save. Did that save? Save. Okay, great. Excellent. Now I'm going to X this bullcrap. I'm going to completely close it. In fact, terminate. What the frick? You can click on the HUD? Ew. That is disgusting, dude. Oh, can I drag the RPM up too? Well, I'm at... There's a freaking bug in here flying around. Right? Okay, now my keyboard no longer works. So then, right, back... This is back to square one. Had I not had Joy to key on, and I was running the stupid bullcrap with auto clutch, now listen to the difference betwixt 1 through 3. Okay, what is happening here? Oh, I unbound it. You know what? Frick it. It doesn't even matter. Now it's working. It works as a proper sequential should. All because... Look at that. Wow. Wheel-supported headlights? Unbelievable, dude. Now I can turn my HUD back off. Thankfully. I don't want to look at that bullcrap covering up my entire screen. Thank you. Now, I'm still questioning. Now, I put everything back, right? You see, I put the clutch back to auto. Okay, you can see right there, dude. I could freaking tell. 1 through 3. Delay. Instant delay right there. Even on that initiation from when I was ready to go. From the shift to the actual movement. Okay, I'm not stupid right there. You can literally hear the car, like, downshift. Or, not downshift, but, like, the RPM's lower. Asinine game. Asinine controls. Unbelievable. Look at that. See, that's how it should sound. There is no delay. We're just freaking out here shifting. And I can still clutch kick. Oh, dude, this is peak. This is amazing, dude. Props to me for putting in the time to figure it out. I'm actually confused as to why I didn't get it to work the first time, but I'm glad that I got it to work on stream. In the off chance that it ever breaks, I can come back to the stream and watch and be like, okay, how do I fix that? Because I need that. Ugh. See, dude, no HUD, can't freaking tell what gear I'm in. I'm just guessing half the time. You know, it would be nice if I had a good memory. I do not, so I'm constantly forgetting. Look at how smooth this is, dude. Okay, I think I think I've been in the Supra for long enough, right? So let's switch it up. I have a couple other drift cars. I'll probably customize a couple too tonight. I intend to be here for the majority of the night. So I'm going to drift to my heart's content. Then I'm going to tune to my heart's content. And then I'm probably going to look at doing some of the delivery missions, because that sounds like an absolute blast to me. I love delivery, dude. Anything delivery. And, dude, literally, not even going to lie, the thing that made me want to stream tonight... Okay? You don't have to believe this, although you probably will. There's no reason for you to not believe it, I guess, but, like, I was watching my, my stream of Motor Town, actually, the first one since I got this wheel. and I was doing deliveries, and I'm like, dude, that looks like so much fun. And I'm like, dude, I should do that because I know CarX Street has delivery missions. And now I feel like it was completely worth it, dude. Completely 100% worth it. You know why? Because now I got it fully tuned as a sequential setup. Now I'm happy, right? I got this guy fully tuned. I could probably still do crap to him. This guy's clean. I need to customize him tonight. I need to customize him tonight. Him. Everybody else up here except for him. That was my career car, as you know. If you've kept up to date on the Simvict lore. But I since upgraded him a whole bunch and took him out of the class he needed to be in. So I'll likely downgrade him at some point, and he can continue to be my career car. So yeah, I'm thinking this guy, dude. Whoa! Huh. What is all that? That's my smoke, huh? You know, not gonna lie, I didn't think I would like this color combo. But it sort of works. To me, it works, right? You'll probably sit here and be like, ew, no, doesn't that look nasty? But, you know, that's your personal opinion. You know, if we're being real, it technically doesn't with yellow and green. But I think it adds a nice little pop. And even what I did is I painted the car purple in and of itself. I painted the entire car that same color so then you can see it in the creases. Huh? That's pretty sick, huh? You can see it in the doors. You can see it on the rear bumper. The fuel. You know, it's sick. The only part of this car that I'm not happy with is that the purple on the mirror, although the same color, doesn't appear to match the rims. Or even the roll cage. And I think that's just because of, you know, the different, I mean, it's the same style of paint. I'm pretty sure it's like satin or something. But just because, you know, those are metal and so is the roll cage, it's just gonna look different, I guess. Because it looks lighter to me. It looks slightly lighter. It looks almost pink. But if I get it in the right lighting like that, that looks perfect. That's a perfect match. But if I put it over here like this, now it looks way lighter. And the rims don't do that as noticeably. I'm not gonna lie, dude. See, I really enjoy being able to play this game a little bit better now. Dude, those are some pretty freaking good graphics there. I mean, this is what I would be doing in Beam. To be able to read this text in such high quality is quite impressive, I will admit. But, anyways, whatever. Let's see where we should go to drift a little bit. What the frick is happening? This is where I started. So we really haven't made it that far. I think, you know, this is a good area to drift, but at the same time, I'm not the biggest fan of roads like this. Okay? Everybody. That looks like fun. I might go to this drift track. I couldn't tell you if I've ever been here before. But you know what I mean, dude? Like, just this is just boring to me, dude. It's just, oh, wow. Go left. Go right. Go left. Go right.
What have you got for me?
I got nothing for you. How do I...
What have you got for me?
I've got nothing for you. Go away! Where are you? Get the frick out of here, dude. I ain't got nothing for you. Why am I typing in the chat? Anyways. Now see, is this a no HUD error? Because I set a waypoint and I have no waypoint. Right? But I know it shows on no HUD. Okay, it's there. It's just highly invisible. Oh, so much better, dude. So much better. You know, the next fix would be to get running lights. But you know, in this game, that's probably not gonna happen. I'm pretty sure in Car X that's only a Kino thing too anyway, so. Car X Drift, obviously, the superior Car X. Biased opinion. I did not hit that. Uh-oh. Okay, so what has that done? What has that done? I hit that. Did that automatically shift me down to neutral? See, he would have bogged right there. Auto clutch would have bogged the frick out and would have ruined that. Way too fast. I'm sorry, I never played this game. Because up until tonight, it's been ultimately, like, well, not up until tonight, but recently, it's been ultimate crap. What have you got for me? Absolutely nothing, dude. Well, because I was making fun of you, I messed up my turn. Okay, dude, not even screwing with that. Oops. Why would I go into reverse? Oh! Gosh, dude, that's frick. Has it been nighttime since we started yet? Or do I have that crap off? Because I have had that crap off in the past. Okay, I have an automatic cycle, so it should be night eventually. Oh, dude, I hate that. You see that bull crap, dude? Ready? Pause. Back. No feedback. Literally no wheel input at all for, like, a delay. A delayed amount of time. Alright, I can drift plane. I swear I can. Shouldn't have done that. That was incorrect. Sorry. Oh, dude, the auto clutch not being on is insane. I can notice it within every single fiber of my being. I really can, dude. On that downshift from third to second. Can't use my fingers, apparently. But, dude, that would have bogged me out with it on, and I would have been upset. But then, it just worked. It worked as it should. It worked as intended, and I was happy. Oh, it's gonna be nighttime. Let's go, dude. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Look at this, dude. I could never... Okay, frick that. As soon as I start talking about how well I'm doing, I'm gonna mess up, right? That's just life. However, my point that I was going to make still stands, that I could never do this on the frickin' Logitech, dude. Piece of crap. And I don't know if that was necessarily, Logitech's fault on that one. I still blame Car X. Because, I could drift perfectly fine in Car X Drift. I could drift perfectly fine in Beam. I could drift perfectly fine in Assetto. It was only this game where the feedback was all fricked up. So, I mean, it works way better on the Mazda. I'm thrilled. I'm happy that I can actually play this game now. So, I'm just gonna run it while I can, you know? Before they break something else. You never know, dude. You never know. But, I feel like it's unlikely that they'll break something. You know, I mean, it's been out for over a freaking year. Has it been 2 years yet? Maybe not. And they still don't have customizable HUD? Ugh, dude. I don't think they're ever gonna add it. I really hope that someone will one day make a mod menu for this game. And I don't even want a whole bunch of crap, dude. I don't want custom textures. I don't want vehicle remodels or reskins, whatever you call it, different model. I could give less of any sort of crap about that, dude. All I want is like quality of life features. I want, all the settings that I did on Joy to Key. I would love to be able to bind that through the mod menu. Or the like, a lot of the stuff, like I use a lot of Kino, or I use a couple of Kino's bindings. The only one that I have to use Joy to Key for is my clutch on my handbrake. And that's just because, I don't have a clutch pedal. So, obviously, you're going to have to do a little weird, workaround for that. But, gosh, dude, if I could just have some quality of life stuff, I would be thrilled. And this would honestly become second favorite game. Not even joking, dude. Now that I've been able to get, the feedback feels great, right? Look at that. Look at that. It's on. It feels, I have feedback. It's amazing. But until we get quality of life, if we got customizable HUD, that's the only thing that I need to make this game number 2. Until then, it's bottom, right? That's just how much that means to me, okay? To go from the bottom of the list, below Assetto, below Beam, below below Motor Town. Dude, if this game had a customizable HUD, here would be my ranking. CarX Drift Racing, CarX Street, Beam, and I know people are going to hate me for this, Motor Town, and then Assetto. Alright, hate me if you will. I know Assetto is great. I love Assetto. Graphically, right? I'm talking more so about gameplay and like just how it affects me personally. I like Motor Town more than Assetto. Graphically? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, dude. Have you seen the sunsets with Pier? Holy crap, dude. But that still goes to say that I have more fun in Motor Town. Hate me if you will. But that would be my game ranking list. However, for the time being, CarX Street is below Assetto. Okay, so it's not the complete bottom right now. CarX devs, come on, dude. Customizable HUD. That's all the frick that I need in this game. And it annoys me to no end. To no end. That you can already do that on mobile. Right, and obviously that makes sense. Small screen, you gotta be able to set up your pedals and whatnot so that you can frickin' actually drive. But, they let them move everything. The map, you can put the map in the middle, you can put the map on the side. Why the frick can't I do this on the PC version, dude? PC should be, like, better, generally. Not just graphically. It should have at least all the features. Okay? I could go on all night. Now, let me do this binding, huh? I should be able to bind my paddles as well through Joy to Key, because I like to have the option of both. Dependent on the car that I'm driving, I like the option of both. So, what then would I need to change in order to get that result? If we look in our settings under our controls and we go to our base, or, right? Could I just set it through this? I don't think so, because that would probably unbind this. So all I need to do is within Joy to Key, go to my base, find which ones these are. 14 and 13 as well. Look at that. Okay, nice. I'm glad that it matches that. That's peak. And then, so I probably need to do it the same way as the shifter. So space up and space down. Is that accurate? Space up. Okay. Space down. Okay. Is that exactly what I want, actually? Yes, it is. Peak, dude. Now, that's only for when I'm driving like an all-wheel drive race car and I'm, you know, keeping both hands on the wheel. If I'm drifting, I'm always going to be sequential. Because there's just no way, dude. There's no way to freaking be on a freaking wheel, flipping that wheel around, drifting, and then just happening to hit the upshift and downshift at the exact point when you need it. That's just unrealistic. Okay, you need a separate device for that when you're drifting. Okay, what is that? You seen that delay there? I wasn't getting clutch. Alright, the drift track. I don't think I've ever been here before. You know, there's so much in this world still for me to explore, because I basically just said, oh, frick this game. Doesn't work with my crap, I don't want to play it. And of course it's nighttime now, right? I wanted it to be night the whole time, and now that I'm on a track that I'm unsure of the turns and etc., it's pitch dark. So let me do third person for a moment, just so I can sort of maybe see if I can get some bearings. Rats, right? That's what you should be thinking. Gosh, dude, it's just... Okay, I just want to make sure the advanced smoke setting, that adds the lingering smoke. Am I correct in that assessment? Sure is. So, say you don't want that, you can just turn that off. I tend to think that's cool because a lot of games don't have that. A lot of games don't have that. A lot of games are just like that, where the freaking smoke disappears immediately behind your vehicle. So I'm actually a fan of that. I think that's sick. Okay, if you're sitting here, that's real life, dude. Oh, it makes it hard to see? Well, you've never drifted in real life, have you? You know what happens oftentimes in real life? Is as you're drifting, your car gets filled with smoke. I don't see that in any games yet, not even this game. That would be sick, dude. If I'm frickin' taking, like... If I, you know, drift appropriately, whatever, and, like, smoke would fill up inside the car. Now, I would assume with the windows up, it would be far less. That's a little bit too realistic for modern day video games in 2026, I guess. I know no gang signs. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up my stream because, again, I'm still questioning if it's smooth. And I'm still questioning if it's actually good. You know what I mean? Because, like, I'm looking over here, and it looks majorly washed out. But what I think that is just that crap monitor. And it probably looks way better. Oh, it absolutely does. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? I love that, like, you can see the CarX in that. That's what I need to do on CarX Drift, actually, is oh, yeah, that looks way better, dude. I can actually see, like, the depth. It looks so washed out on that monitor right there on OBS display. Gosh, dude, I'm like, holy crap, is that what it really looks like? That's embarrassing. But no, it looks peak. So I don't even need to keep that crap up. See, the joys of setting up a stream. because I have toiled for many countless hours and months, that I can basically trust this crap now. I can basically trust it. Will I ever? Absolutely not. Because the one time that I say, oh, you know, my stream's gonna run great, it won't. It'll run like frickin' crap. It's done it before. Specifically, I don't know why, but every time I stream a Seto, that's when it goes downhill. I think that's just because my graphics are way too high in that game. And my computer can't handle doing both. Right, that's an L I'm willing to take. I hardly ever play that on stream, at least. But it might be wise for me to make a graphical preset for streaming. Right, why not? You know, then I could... But... Again, I don't like my games to look like crap. I prefer over everything to have a... Okay, what was that, huh? That was probably some setting that I missed in Joy to Key. Was it? No. No, that's fine. That would have happened. Yeah, stalling in that specific scenario. That's acceptable. I don't know this track well enough, dude. Okay, I had my clutch. See, okay, that is the second time that's done that now. This clutch, I hate to say it, this clutch is not operating. Remember when I mentioned that earlier, I was like, oh, that's weird, my clutch isn't going off. So let's see if I can figure out when it does it and see why. Look at that. Overall, it seems pretty decent. Didn't get it. Frick. Collectibles nearby? Out over here? Well, I can't see nothing at this time of day, dude. Okay, so he stalled. Look at that. My clutch right now, dude, I'm freaking holding it, and it's not being counted as being held. That's why I stalled. See, I knew something was up, dude. I'm not that stupid. When I came and I spun out, I know to put my freaking finger on the clutch. And I was like, well, why did I stall there? Yeah, see, I'm not that dumb, dude. That was incorrect. That should not have happened. It's not inputting. Frick, dude, I could have saved that. Anyways, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Clutch is not working. Not working at all. What the frick? Why? Not at all, really. Now, that's peculiar. Okay, so how's my binding looking over here? Controls, shifter, clutch. Doesn't even read it? Is my button, like, bad or something? Could you imagine that already? This is relatively new. I would still say I don't necessarily think that I'm that rough with it either. You know, I press it a lot. That doesn't mean that I'm rough with it. And if I can't trust my clutch to activate on a turn like that, dude, that would totally screw me over, dude. Okay, I'm just being realistic. See, again, I was holding the clutch right there. It's not like... Could I also bind that to go through? Okay, how did I do it in... Shoot. This is the joys of PC gaming, by the way. Well, not necessarily always, but on my setup at least, because mine's always different. Gotta be different. Yeah. Why is throttle listed twice? Why is everything listed twice? I'm under keyboard, right? Keyboard. So my clutch is set to space. Okay, so what if I try the exact same thing, then where I go to shifter and I delete my clutch binding. Hear me out. So now I have no clutch binding. My only clutch should be activated when I pull the handbrake. Indeed it is. Great. Or when I do that, of course. So then, I want to go, and I wonder if this will screw up like when I'm shifting. I don't think so, because I never hold the clutch when I shift. So it should be two separate things using the same binding. So now I'm going to go to my shifter, which find my clutch button, which is what, button 15? Is it? Okay, see? It is. Okay, for once it's not the game, dude. That was legitimately not reading just then. I'm not rough with my button, dude. I just pressed a lot. If that's rough, then Moza is crap. So, I'm gonna set this to be space. Okay. There. Basically, at this point, I'm just saying frick CarX Street, and I've basically bound most of the entire game through joy to key. And believe it or not, it works pretty well. Now, let me just see. I'll just continue playing normally, and I'm going to see if that screws me over, because it seems to work. Like, every single... Even if I push it to, like, the edge, you know what I mean? Like, because here's my key that pushes in, but if I, like, sort of try and twist it and then push it, or twist it this way and then push it, it still works. Because I can hear it. It's clearly a audible clicking button with each press. Sounds actually very nice. I love the way it sounds. Anyway, so that's beyond the point. Besides the point, not beyond it. So it seems to work okay, so now I'm going to continue and see if it does that bull crap again. Which I noticed it specifically when I come like this. And watch, it'll probably work great now because joy to key is like the most peak thing ever. And without that application, I would sort of be screwed, not gonna lie. Worked great there. That was one of the opportunities in which it went out before. And it stayed strong, and it stayed active. It stayed activated. Here we go. There you are. Look at that, see? Just because I wanted to, I used the paddle shifters. Thanks to joy to key, that's a viable option. Look at that. Okay, I believe joy to key fixed it. I believe joy to key fixed it, but I don't want to say that too early. I feel like, if anything, I'm more rough with the shifter itself, not the clutch button. Nope. You saw that, right? You frickin' saw that. I was spamming the frickin' button and it wasn't... Is it like... It's not turn related. It better not be. Alright, hold on. Let me do a quick Google search. Moza sequential shifter clutch not working. I should do that. I should check in Pit House. Just to make sure everything's like, and nothing is peculiar with my clutch. I wouldn't think it to be. But, that does sort of suck. What would that be under? Because I hate this software. I really do. Not necessarily. I just think it's a little... So there's my shifter. And every time I press it, it frickin' reads it. Wow. I'm surprised I had those set to orange and not yellow. What's blue look like? Oh, blue is nice, dude. I like the blue. I like the blue. I don't have enough blue in my setup, so that's a nice touch. Anyways. I don't think I'm an idiot. I really think it has something to do with just Carrick Street in general. I don't think I've ever noticed it giving me any issues in games like Beam, Carrick's Drift, etc. I feel like this game, specifically, is just a little bit whack. And it is, too. Like, I mean, if you look at the frickin' crap I've had to do just to get it to frickin' work. You know, I've never set up these buttons. I've never decided what I should set them to. Anyways, this thing, can I set this to the side? And as I play the game, it still shows. That's peak. That's exactly what I want. So I'm going to put this down here. Slap them into full screen. Maybe not. That's very peculiar looking. Regardless, I'll put them right here like this, and I can look over and see if it's not registering in my game, and see if it's registering over here. And if it is, that means a happy day, right? Happy day for me, because honestly, at that point, it's just, I'll double check everything, but it's frick Carrick Street at that point. And possibly Joyta-Key, I don't know. Now, of course, you know, it doesn't want to look like a fool, so it's going to work great while I have Moza up, right? But of course, what the frick is that, dude? I totally miscalculated that line. Could you please just do it one more time, and then I'll turn my HUD off again, as atrocious as it is. There we go. It's not working. No way. It wasn't reading. It was not reading. In Pit House. That's awful. That's awful. That literally means that this is slightly defective. And maybe it's just... No, I've noticed it. I've noticed it other places. It hasn't just been here. Now, is there any updates or calibrations that I can do to this? Let's see. Settings. Check for updates. This is for the software, right? Okay, that's stupid. Why press the button and then it doesn't do nothing, you know? So this is good. It looks up to date. So it looks like nothing needs fix sensor signal failure. What if I select that and do that? Firmware upgrades may potentially encounter issues. Please proceed with caution when upgrading. If you are satisfied with the current force feedback and stability, it is not recommended. Okay, well, this doesn't have feedback, dummy. But see, it's not changing nothing. It's going from the same version to the next version. So, fine, I'll try it. I'll try it. Because honestly, I would like to trust this. If I can't trust this, that changes everything. Okay? Update successful. Okay? I wouldn't even mess with anything else. Everything else works great. The handbrake has never given me issues. It always activates. The wheel itself, feedback is excellent. Right? Perfect, right? Okay, good. Good, good, good. Now, I'm going to X out of this. We are going to X out of this. We're going to close the freaking game. And honestly, if I wasn't streaming, I would restart my entire PC. But, since that is not the case, I am going to unplug it. If I could, without breaking it. Close the game. See what stupid image pops up. Good. Nothing embarrassing. Pop her back in. I do need a new wallpaper though. It's a little, I want to stick with the white, yellow, and blue to match the computer over there, but I don't feel like changing everything, but the image itself is a little boring now. Alright. As this reloads, I'm going to be right back. I need to use restroom. Give me just a slight amount of time. Alright. Here goes nothing. Still screwing around with these wires. Okay, so what I am going to attempt, or at least do first... What in the world is that, dude? You seeing what I'm seeing? All that clipping texture on that flower petal there? Ew! Hey, what's up, background actor? So now I need to open my pit house again and see if I can notice if my shifters still don't work, or my clutch on occasion. Go over there. Stay out of my face. Okay. And for the time being, I need to keep my HUD on until that is completely confirmed. Okay, my wires are in my way. I swear. It's an endless battle fighting these frickin' wires. I need a new soda. That's what I need. I didn't even finish my first Mountain Dew. There. I think... Frick. Cream soda is the winner. Dude, Great Value brand is... It's so good. Yeah, look at that. Okay, it's so far so good, but you never know. Was I going this way or the other way? Oh, I was going the other way because it's taking me back to the dude. Oh, there it goes. It's not reading. It is not reading even on Moza. What an L, dude. What an L. And now it's back. Is that seriously game related? Would this game... That's an actual question that I have. Would this game be able to somehow... Do I have any clutch bound in here? Or am I running it all through Joy to Key at this point? I probably have... Okay, so I have space on the keyboard. That's Joy to Key. Gone, and gone. There's only Joy to Key at this point. Frick, dude. I wonder if Joy to Key has some sort of, you know, issue, perhaps, with that. I wouldn't think that it would, but it very well could. Now that really makes me want to play a different game, you know, and be like, just to fully exclude that it's not a CarX Street issue. Cause see, I don't know, dude. So it still does it, alright? So I've confirmed that it still does it. I can turn my HUD back off because who wants to look at all that crap? Frick, dude, I pressed the reset button. L. I really should not have... I'm actually going to rebind that right now. Why would I have A as nitrous with R as reset? Obviously because R for reset, but that's way too close to nitrous, dude. And the only way to hold that was as you're drifting is sort of like one-handed, so obviously you're probably going to slip off. Base. Reset position. Let's make that like... I don't know. Is PL bound? I wouldn't think so. But would I want PL or FL? Button 34. I feel like that I feel like I've bound that before. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's clearly not bound. I don't think I saved that. What was that? That was good, right? Okay. Oh, and then it deactivates my wheel for 2 seconds. I don't know what gear I'm in. What's over here? I feel like there's like gonna be a collectible here. There's not? I say it's time for a new car. I've been driving this thing for a long frickin' time at this point. Let's see. Should I customize a new one? Or should I drive him? I'm gonna drive him for a little bit just to make sure that everything's good. Okay, now I sort of stuck, huh? Is that real, or is that just... Probably not real, but gosh, this guy's power... Oh. We aren't working again. Frick off, dude. I really might go play another game just to confirm that it's a CarX Street issue. And I know I'm usually against that. I don't play more than one game in a stream, but I think this deserves that because this is not fun. This is not for fun. This is for testing purposes only. We're gonna do Beam. Because I feel like with Beam, that will ultimately, you know, I don't usually have any issues with Beam. So... Ah. Man, this sounds quiet as frick. There's no shot that's full volume. See, and look at me. I was not an idiot, I know. Can't see from the freaking soda can. It doesn't really matter what I drive. You know. So I will stick with the same vehicle, why not? No, no, no. Good. I hate doing this. I do. Because I guarantee if somebody's gonna join the stream, right? And it says that I'm streaming CarX Street. You know? I'm not gonna go and change it. Because I'd have to change it on Kick and on YouTube. And then I'd have to change it back. So that's just stupid. because I'm gonna go back to Car X Street. I just want to make sure my issues are resolved. So now I can pull back up my pit house and keep an eye on my button. Biggest L. And also I have that information. Oh, no way. I never knew that. So I can clutch to get the frickin' handbrake to stay on? Is that normal? No. Okay, so now I think Joy-to-Key is screwing. Because I want to make sure before I close this, my profile is saved. It is. Can I rename it? Yeah, so I'm going to say I might actually need to redo some of this. I'm going to name this one Car X Street, because this might have caused some issues for other games. Which, when I say other games, I mean Car X Drift, because the only one that I need in that is the handbrake. Everything else can be bound through Kino, etc., or just the game. So, I think that's okay. Now, dude, what is happening here, dude? Terminate. My clutch button just doesn't work at all now, dude? What is this? This is BeamNG Drive. Yeah, I'm not supposed to have these issues in this game. What the frick is happening here? No clutch at all. What's it bound to? What's... Nothing? You telling me? You telling me it's somehow unbound? Clutch. Button 14. And the slider. The slider is this one because Beam allows for dual input bindings. See, if Car X allowed for this kind of setup right here, I would not have ever downloaded Joy-to-Key. I can't even rebind it. Like, it doesn't even read it. Gosh, dude, you have got to be joking. Oh, and then it set it to escape. Escape should never be a bindable button. Why would you want that? Okay, if you really want that, you should have to... It should be like a selectable button. What would you like to bind this to? Select your button or escape? Good, I didn't save it, so it didn't save. So I can shift... And I have no frickin' clutch. Oh, now we're back. And now we're gone already? What the frick, dude? This is awful. This is actually going to, You know what I might just need to do? I hate to say this, because I've really enjoyed my setup thus far. But if this continues and I cannot find a fix, can't even speak English at this point. If I can't find gosh, dude. If I cannot find a fix for this issue, I will need to purchase a clutch pedal and install it down there. That would bring some realism back, I suppose, but I really miss this already, dude. I love the freaking two-footing of the pedals. This is atrocious. So I'm definitely going to look into this. And now the thing is, I can't figure out when I can make it happen and when I can't, because now it's working great. Like, that's just some bull crap, dude. Are you kidding me? Already you're gonna start giving me freaking issues like this? I don't know why the feedback feels so weird in that. It used to feel way tighter, and now it's like, I think it might be the tires, but whatever. Let's do somebody I know. Now it seems to work great, no issues. Oh, and it's gone again. It's gone. What the frick, dude? No frickin' shot, dude. I'm lost at this point. I am very lost at this point. And watch, I guarantee you, I'll try and show this issue to someone, IRL, and it won't do it. It'll just work great, right? And then I'm gonna be like, oh, well, I swear it was doing it, dude. It's giving me all kinds of crap. Yeah, sure. Oh, dude. Why does it work, like, so consistently sometime? I feel like I'm just doing something. Like, I gotta be misunderstanding something. But the one fact that makes me think that's not the case is the fact that it's not being read over there. When it goes out, it goes out. Okay, it's gone. If it's not reading through this, I feel like that's an issue. Obviously, that's an issue. So, whatever. At this point, I was going to stream for a good majority of the night. I might come back. Likely not. But I'm going to be screwing around with this. I'm going to restart the PC. I'm going to frickin' do all that bullcrap, dude. I was having such a blast at the beginning of the stream. This issue legitimately started tonight during this stream. I've never once had anything of the sort occur before tonight. So that's what I get to leave you with. Very unfortunate, because this shifter is peak. Sequential all the way for me. Anyways. Whatever, dude. I don't even know. This is just stupid, is what it is, dude. Like, it... And the thing, too, that gets me is it's gotta be the shifter. Like, the shifter has got to be damaged or something. Whatever, I'm out of here, dude. Sorry, apologies, but... Whatever, dude. Until I figure this crap out. right? Of course, right as I come back to streaming, right? Everything was going great before, and then I'm like, hey, man, I think I'm going to start streaming again. And then some bullcrap starts up. Yup. Anyways, have a wonderful night. Car X3 is great with the wheel. Can't wait to play it more. Can't wait to have a working clutch button. And I'll see y'all in the next one.